Yes, I think we're just... Oh, hang about. Minor things. Things are off-center. It's just text. Otherwise, in terms of games, I think we're ready to go. You can just count me in whenever.
Alright,
Okay.
Let's get to the screen then, yeah?
Yep. And everyone can hear us? We're good to go?
I think so. Alright.
Proper story's supposed to start at the beginning. Ain't so simple with this one.
Proper
Now here's a
story.
kid whose whole world got all twisted, leaving him stranded
didn't-
on a rock in the sky.
Have you guys started time yet?
No,
or-
we haven't started.
Nope.
Fuck,
we
okay,
had,
never mind.
Oh.
We had-
No, time starts.
We had an
we'll count
intro.
in.
We had an
Time
intro
doesn't
little
start until-
commentary.
Right,
Alright.
sorry, I saw gameplay and jumped the gun.
Oh, yeah, not a problem. Timing starts
You ready?
when the kid starts moving.
And I will count us in. Are we ready?
Alright.
You ready, SomeDude?
Yep.
Alright.
I'm ready.
Game in 3, 2, 1, go.
He gets up,
The precise timing.
sets off for the Bastion.
Welcome to
Well,
Bastion,
hello,
everyone.
everyone. This is-
Yeah.
Hi, I'm SomeDude955. Bastion's currently my only stream game, but I have a lot of fun here.
Yeah, I am Ian Synth on Twitch, Valentino Ian on speedrun.com. Bastion I've been doing for like 2 years now, and I do a couple other games too, Titan Souls, if you know that. But I've been doing this I have like 400 hours of Bastion, so.
And it shows. He currently has the world record in literally every category, so...
That's true, I've spent quite a bit of time playing the game. It's a really easy game to pick up though. Obviously, the more time you put into any game, the better you'll get though. So yeah.
Yeah.
This is Bastion.
So Bastion is an action game made by Supergiant Games, I think in 2011. They're also behind Transistor, which came out in 2014, and they're going to have a new game called Pyre out pretty soon, I think.
Oh yeah, the Bastion, all the old Bastion people are going to come back for that, I imagine. We're going to try and speedrun that too. Transistor was kind of a
I'm
speedrun
excited to see
letdown,
it.
but we'll see how Pyre goes. But yeah, Bastion is such a great speed game. Because it's, like I said just a second ago, it is just incredibly easy to pick up, because especially this category, we're doing a new game ASL, which means all story levels, and it's just, you don't have to know a single trick to complete a run. You can just play the game pretty much normally and you know the route, which is really nice, but then there's so much depth that you can go into in every level to actually, cut your seconds off in minutes.
Yeah.
So it's just it's really easy to ease into it.
So the big thing about all story levels, as opposed to any of our other categories like any percent, is that the idea here is to go through every level of the game, which means that we cannot utilize one of the biggest skips in the game called core duplication, which would basically cut the game down to about like 14 minutes long, not even.
Yeah, so the world record for 80% is like 12:29, I want to say, or is it 13:29?
That's new game plus.
Oh right,
13:29
13:29.
is
Okay.
new game,
Yeah.
any percent world record.
So yeah, this is 45 something, 45:50 something. So there's a huge difference.
Yeah.
But we get to see everything. You could learn pretty much the whole story from watching this. We have the dialogue on screen, so if you don't want to see it, just don't read. But if you haven't played this game yet, it's been out for like 6 years. I'd get on it if I were you. It's a great game.
Because this is one of my favorite games ever. So first and foremost, what we're using is Mason, which is essentially mouse movement. And the reason for that is because when you roll, part of the algorithm that takes into account how far you roll uses your movement speed, and mouse movement allows for like the fastest addition to that equation, which means basically you roll the farthest with mouse movement.
Yeah, so your movement gets added to the roll pretty much. So you go about 30% faster with Mason controls using mouse and keyboard. So it's pretty impactful. You can't really run this game on anything else. You can actually play Bastion on your phone, I believe. So you can play it on a variety of platforms, but you can only really speedrun it on PC, unfortunately. It's also on Xbox, but you're just not really going to be able to match up with times. But it's really fun. On PC anyway, so I wouldn't want to play on anything else anyway.
Yeah. So the biggest thing you'll see is that we come back to the Bastion after every level, and in order to progress the story and open up the next level, we have to put cores that we pick up into the monuments and build buildings. Now, I just built a distillery, and I'm about to leave. That is about the only time that building order matters, somewhat. Because we don't use it very much in this level, but we want to get to the distillery so that we can equip Ware Whiskey, which is a drink that really kind of breaks the game if you want to get into that.
Yeah, so Ware Whiskey, as I'm entering Melting Pot as well now, we don't need it in this level, but whenever you're below 33% health, you get permanent crit chance. So we're going to use that permanent crit chance to just do every single fight in the game that we need to do insanely quickly. This fight that we're doing now, we can't speed up that much. It's a really, really long fight, but this is basically an auto-scroller. This is pretty much everyone's least favorite level in New Game ASL because it's unskippable. It's early in the run, so it's just like a boring slog that you have to do pretty much every run. So it's definitely the worst part of this game for this category. But there's still tricks in it. But we are not going to use Ware Whiskey now.
Yeah, there are a couple waves, like, this auto-scroller basically happens in waves, and there are a couple waves that really matter. Soon on my screen you're going to see a scumbag hit the ground right now, and what we're going to try and do is level up right there as that third scumbag hits the ground, because killing those 3 scumbags is what will trigger the next wave early. It doesn't look like it right now, but basically, like, because I killed that last scumbag quickly, instead of like waiting around like for the timer to like start the next wave, it just went for it.
Yes, the next waves will start automatically if you wait long enough, but in certain waves you can speed it up. I did not get the trick that he was just talking about. That's something I wanted to mention. Actually, I'm kind of glad that I didn't get it in a marathon, because like half your runs, I feel like don't get it because it's random. That is pretty much the only significant RNG in the game, is that section right there. It's a variance of 3 seconds, so it's not that bad. But the spawn timings of those scumbags is random, unfortunately.
And those are the only waves that really matter, because I believe it's actually like an unintended bug from Supergiant, but you like the rest of the waves from here on out, like whether or not we like managed to kill all the waves quickly enough, we would still have to wait them out.
Yeah, so we've actually looked into the scripts and source code for this game, because it's written in a language that is decompilable. It's a .NET game, so we can decompile the exe. That's what I'm trying to say. So we have looked at the source code, we've looked at the scripts, and this one in particular has scripts in there that are not written properly, so that if you kill the waves fast enough, you still have to wait, which is pretty unfortunate for us.
I got the jump.
Oh, really? Nice. So talk about that.
Yeah. At the end of Melting Pot, you those gas fellows that were, that I lured over to the end of the arena there, if they hit you, you get knocked up into the air, and you can control, the kid by rolling, like, once you get, like, thrown up into the air. And so if you get them close enough, you can actually, like, throw yourself over to the barge that is approaching and exit the level, like, a second early.
A very stylish 1 second time save. But
it's one of, like, the more flashy, skips in the run. I love when I'm able to actually hit it.
Yeah, that's pretty much Bastion in a nutshell, is things that are way too hard to save 2 seconds and then 1 second. But that's pretty much, that's why it's so good, because you don't have to do everything. There are really hard tricks that don't save that much time, so you can just opt out of them. That's especially true in the New Game Plus categories.
For example, CC skip.
Yes, we'll talk about that. We're not going to do it in this run. It is definitely the first trick by far in the game, and saves you like 8 seconds if you do it perfectly. But it's pretty fun. It's definitely the most flashy trick, because you just walk on air pretty much.
Yeah. I just got out of Sundown Path, which is one of the spots where the ground is a little bit more forgiving. As you saw, the ground forms up around you as you forward in the level. And since we're moving 30% faster with our pulling, the ground only forms up so quickly in most levels. Sundown Path is one that actually will just like form up however quickly you get there, which is nice. But in most levels, it's pretty easy to roll faster than the ground will allow you to. And so rolling, requires, a lot of finesse in terms of like how quickly you roll, where you roll. There's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah, so we're both in Hanging Gardens now. This is a level that's just super practice intensive. You need to know when you can roll, when you have to walk a little bit. You can even you can change your direction of rolling mid-roll. So you'll see me do that a couple times here where I'll kind of roll, but then do like a curve motion so I don't actually go straight the entire time. So I can get that roll distance, get a little bit faster, but not actually roll off the edge. And also, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, we're about to get into a cutscene skip right here. I got it first try. Basically, what you do is you create two menus at once by hitting Enter and Escape simultaneously at the main menu, which creates two menus at the same time, and then you essentially go through them simultaneously. One of which starts the game over again, which says, "Oh, hey, there's a cutscene going. We should show them the cutscene." But then the game saves, so that when you hit continue on the second menu, the game says, "Oh, the cutscene already played, so let's just take you to the Bastion," and that saves about 8 seconds total.
Yeah. I also got first try, so pretty sweet.
Nice.
It doesn't lose that much time if you mess it up.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. Like, it takes less than half a second to try again, basically. And you can try it as many times as necessary in order to get it.
Did we talk about tech skips yet?
We did not.
Okay, so whenever you go to the Skyway, which is basically the map of the game, so that's your level select. Normally, the narrator, Rux, will tell you about what's going on in the story, but we don't care about that, and we want to go somewhere right away. So we make him talk about something else as we're approaching it, so that he doesn't start talking about whatever he wants to talk about, and then we can choose something right away. So that's a lot of when we equipped Were Whiskey, we got he talked about Were Whiskey, so we didn't have to wait. And that happens almost every single time we have a tech skip. The only one we didn't was going to this level, Cinderbrick Fort. We didn't have a tech skip, so we had to wait on the map there. Every other time we should be able to go right away.
I also fell in Cinderbrick, and then we should talk about falling. Basically, you never want to do that, ever. Essentially, every fall wastes about 2.5 seconds with the animation of the fall itself and then getting up afterward. And it's especially painful right at the beginning because Rux makes a joke about you falling to your death, and that wastes another second on top of that.
Yeah, and I did that, which was real good at the beginning.
Yeah. So that's why it's as important as it is to have really good movement, because if you screw up even a little bit, you just lost 2.5 seconds.
Yeah, and I'm saying it again, but it's my mantra of Bastion is it's just a game of inches, because you have to. Every single thing is so minor. There's no big thing that you need to nail. It's just there are a couple, but
we'll get to that.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that soon. But most of the game is just optimization 24/7. All right, are you out of pith?
I just entered Langston River.
Oh wow, you're significantly ahead.
Which
I have time to catch up in the long run.
Yeah, I get to just sit around for a while now. This is another auto scroller. This might actually, I just fell, so you just aimed at me a little bit. But this might actually be a good time if there are any donations.
I don't know if there are. Yeah. There might not be, because we are a small marathon. right now.
That's fair enough.
Second run of a small marathon. But, yeah. Very good.
There is the nice thing is that even with these auto scrollers, there are small ways to save time on there. With Langston River, the only one of those comes more toward the end of this level. But like even with auto scrollers like this, there are little strats like there's a skip that will come along with that's just full of gas fellas, and there's essentially a quick kill for that will like trigger the end sequence of the level, things like that.
1 second time save there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're actually gonna get Were Whiskey in this level. Again, this is another Were Whiskey level. It does save time at the end because we do have to kill 2 birds, peckers they're called. And when we kill those, we can kill them instantly with the musket. If we're right next to them, like literally touching them, we can kill them in one shot with a Were Whiskey musket shot, which is really nice. And we will be doing that at the very end of the level. But we have to get there and wait for this barge to get all the way to the end.
I'm gonna take a safety black tonic here. Black tonics, by the way, we haven't really talked much about secret skills. Currently, we have the hand grenade, which is like one of the, I'd say the best secret skill in the game. It's just a literal grenade that you throw, and it just does a whole lot of damage in an area. So you can like, really quickly kill large enemies with it, or like clear out an area of small enemies or crush and things like that. It's a really, really useful secret skill, but it's constrained by the number of black tonics we have. So currently you see I have 3 of those, which means that I have 3 grenades I can throw. And that's why I took the safety grenade, because sometimes you don't hit all 3 of those turrets right at the end. That's not a big deal, I fell there, but I didn't die.
Yeah. Alright, so the turrets are coming up. This is one of my favorite things. I'm sure you're so in some dudes, but you just toss 1 grenade, lob it up, and get all 3 turrets. So now we have Were Whiskey. You're probably at the boss soon. If not, we probably already did it.
Yeah, the boat currently just sped up.
So here's the boss, and we're going to kill it real quick on my screen as well. Yep, there they all go. Instant death.
Yep, it's just a targeted grenade throw and a musket shot, and they're all dead.
So that's the Bastion boss fights for you. We either gate clip past them, or we just kill them instantly. Almost every
and I
single
got
time,
quick
if
kills
not
on
every single
neither of the peckers.
Okay, so hopefully I'll be able to show that off. Oh yeah, we killed the bull earlier with grenades as well. That took 2 of them because we took Were Whiskey. Alright, there we go. Got the quick kills on the peckers. That's what it looks like. We use that one more time as well in Wild Outskirts, which is coming up pretty soon. But actually, we're going into Prosper Bluff. I think some dude's already in that right now. This is probably the most movement intensive level, where you have like a bunch of gate clips, a really difficult movement. You have to watch out for the ground, because the ground is super annoying here as well. And then these are 2 of the hardest gate clips in the whole game. Whoops, I talking too much, and I almost went to hit the switch for that instead of gate clipping. Anyway, yeah. So you have to hit the switch for the first gate, and then, or you can clip past the first gate, hit the switch for the second. There's just, this map is full of gates. So you just have to get past them all as quickly as possible, and we're gonna get.
Yeah, this is the first level that like really well and truly makes or breaks a run. So I'm about to get to the first gate clip, and I fell. So I'm giving you a chance to catch up here.
Yeah, I'm almost there.
There we go.
So yeah, this first the first of the 2 is pretty hard. You have to get into this corner just right here, and then you can get around the wall like that. And then the second one, you just need the right angle, right place, and then you get over there. So I got them both first try. That's pretty good.
Nice. It took me like 3 tries with the first one, but I got the second first try. And then at the end, it basically starts like kind of a cutscene-like event when you pick up the hidebound journal, which is kind of an important item, but not really so much for the run. but basically it starts a cutscene where you can no longer roll, so it's faster to just go to the edge of that last area and fall and land in the center of it than to just walk all the way over.
Yeah. So, actually, I had something, just thought of this that we could talk about. Excuse me. Me and you do a couple things differently. I found out earlier, you play in windowed mode.
That's right.
Yeah, so I have dual monitors. So the problem that you have in Bastion is there's many times that you cannot see where your cursor is. That's usually after levels when you're loading a level or you're coming back to the Bastion, something like that. You won't be able to see your cursor. So to line it up where you want it to be, I use my second monitor. I put my cursor over there and then, move it back. But a lot of people play in windowed mode, and it's just like one of the only few things you can really personalize in your Bastion run.
I will get to that in a second, but you also just saw I'm in Wild Outskirts right now. I finished up the fight, and there's a little area in the bushes that you can clip through, which allows you to skip basically the entire level after that fight, and you picked up the core. But yeah, I play in windowed mode because it lets you move your cursor like just around that entire window, which is just another way to help you set up where your cursor is.
Yeah, but then I like the benefit. It is definitely easier to line up when you're in windowed, but I like the benefit of being able to go all the way to the edge of the screen and not worry about going off. Because if you go off of the screen and click, you will lose the window focus and the game totally pauses. So it kind of sucks. Okay, we're doing Joss and Bog now. This is the worst.
And you just pulled ahead because I missed pipe glitch.
I just missed pipe glitch. No.
Oh hey, nice.
All right.
So what you're supposed to do there is roll into this gap that allows you to fall. And I didn't get a text skip either. So you're supposed to roll into that area where the narrator talks about, this pipe that Zulf brought from his land, the Tassel Terminals, and fall at the same time, which allows you to move during that cutscene, which lets you put a core in the monument during that cutscene, which starts another cutscene, which allows you to start moving again. It sounds more complicated than it is, but basically it just lets you move around when you shouldn't be able to, and it saves a lot of time.
Yeah.
And neither of us got it.
And if you miss it, you lose extra time. Even if we wouldn't have tried it, we both would have saved like 8 seconds over each other, but we both went for it. It's actually usually really consistent, but, marathon things. Okay, Joss and Bog, though. Gotta describe it before we do it, because we both probably need to just really focus. We're gonna get Were Whiskey at the very, very beginning. We have to do a bunch of fights with Were Whiskey active, and then take an intentional death, which is pretty precisely timed. There's actually more to it than that. I'll talk about things as I do them, but that's the general idea. And then we're going to see a pretty cool glitch if one of us pulls it off, which hopefully we will.
Alright, I just got done with my first fight. So I have Were Whiskey now. Now the goal is to just keep it without dying, which is harder than it sounds. Oh god. Because basically, you have to just not take a hit from here on out.
Yeah.
You can take, literally one hit, which I just did.
So, right now, I'm going to roll off the edge of this screen so that I can start moving earlier than I normally would be able to. There's just, again, there's little optimizations like that all over the place.
And I think we're both getting to the Soul Regret now, which is the really difficult part.
So I'm gonna shut up for sure.
Oh, I didn't get it. And I didn't even get Quick Rondi, so now I have to destroy this entire area.
Alright, so I'm not going to do the fast version. This is Zombie Kid. Normally we'd fall off this screen so that you can start rolling right away, but it's really entertaining just to see a sleeping kid floating on by. But there you go. That's Zombie Kid. That's basically, normally we would be sleeping that whole time. So that whole setup is so that we can do that.
Yeah, you're looking at me hanging around now. The cool thing is you can still float around. I'm gonna roll though because I need to catch up. You can still be even with that you can still be Just
Yeah, there's a lot of bugs with movement, with animations and movement. If you're holding the mouse button down, I think this is how it works. If you're holding the mouse button down when an animation is ending or starting, you'll be able to move while not starting a running animation, so you get locked into it. That actually, I believe that saves a split second in Tassel terminals if you do it with the when you pick up the battering ram.
yeah.
If you know what I mean, yeah.
Yeah, because it also skips the animation of you actually using the weapon, which is really useful because you can just keep walking with it.
Alright, so I have surpassed a little bit here, just a little bit ahead. I'm out of Joss and Bog.
The nice thing is that I'm not quite as far behind. Like, I can still catch up from here.
Oh yeah.
It'll be kind of tough, but like it's definitely.
No, you're not that far. Like we are doing a marathon run. Anything can happen. So you know, I'm glad it's this close though. Like it's already back. It's not a runaway. So that's kind of the worry when you do a 50-minute race. You worry that one person's gonna be like 3 minutes ahead, but yeah, we were able to talk about the same thing at the same time. It's good. So now we're under Rothus. This level is very different in every single category. This one, luckily, is probably the easiest version of Rothus, where we don't have to do anything too fancy, and the quick kill for the boss at the end here is very easy. Well, I say very easy, but it's easy compared to the other ones.
I did a lot of messing it up in practice, so we'll see how this goes.
It's easy in comparison to other. Oh shoot! Alright, that's fine. It's easy in comparison to other quick kills for this boss, in my opinion, anyway. All right, we have.
And what you just saw on my screen was an example of moving just too fast for the ground.
Have Were Whiskey now, and we're waiting for Queen Anne. We're gonna roll over her to aggro her. Then we're gonna blow her up. There she goes. So that's a Were Whiskey grenade, a Were Whiskey pike thrust, a Were Whiskey musket shot, and then another Were Whiskey pike thrust. We actually picked up a new weapon in that level. Kind of glossed over that. Picked up the pike ball, or the pike rather.
And that's like one of the best weapons in the game in terms of just dealing damage quickly.
Yeah, the reach is really useful too. In general, we pick it up. It's the items we've used, and there's things that do more damage, stuff like that. But the pike and the musket are really, really good at clearing out terrain and stuff like that, like things in your way, walls, stuff like that. So that's probably the biggest reason that we stick with these weapons. Ooh, so I just got a really nice clip there in Point Lemaine.
Nice.
But yeah. This is Point Lemaine. This is the very last auto scroller. This is the gateway to the end game, pretty much. I say end game. It's like the last third, but yeah.
Yeah. And basically, this level is just 3 like pretty important tricks separated by 2 auto scrollers in between.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, you can't even sleep on this level, even though it's so slow.
Yeah, so the first
God.
trick was the gate clip to get into this area. Normally you'd have to do some fighting, blah blah blah. We don't care about that. We go through the gate, and then we're gonna have to do off-screen rolling here. This is the only place we do this in the entire game. The screen's gonna be locked at the end of this first auto scroller, but we want to keep moving. So we're gonna line ourselves up, get the kid facing the direction that we want to go, and then just hit the space bar and roll over and over again. Not touch the mouse anymore, because we can't click off screen. We're just going to do some rolling. Let's see if I get it. It's pretty difficult, so I have a setup, but so I'm rolling off screen right now. And then the screen catches up to me. That wasn't perfect, but it was pretty good. I'd say 8 out of 10 on that one. So yeah, we made up. You saw the screen catch up to me immediately afterwards.
May I butt in to read a couple of donations?
Sure, yeah.
Absolutely.
Great. Abel 9210, that's Kale. He has a different username on here for some reason. Donated $15 to say goes to FPS TAS IOs. It's a good choice, seriously. Those TAS IOs are fucking mental. You really want to see them. I can't stress that enough. And ZZX, very easy, donated $15 to say I would watch stream, but my internet is actually a bag of potatoes being attacked by rodents. So have some money. Aw, dude, that sucks.
Should contact
Take your money, though.
ISP.
Ah!
Just
But no, seriously,
make your ISP donate.
And because you didn't specify a donation incentive, that one will go to the Gameland showcase for the Sonic Colors run, which is also pretty good. That is being done by Critical Sid later today, I think. Double check schedule real quick.
Can I explain what I'm about to do here?
Yep, go for it.
Alright, so this is the last trick. I'm going to get Were Whiskey here at the end of the level. Then, because we just need to kill one thing at the end of this level instantly, so that we can trigger the wall falling. Kind of hard to explain without doing it. So we're waiting here. Then we're gonna walk off screen. Then as we get in here, this thing is gonna spawn. We have Were Whiskey. We use a grenade on it, and then we're in there. Hard to really explain what's going on there, but it's just a precise setup. You cannot die. You need to get Were Whiskey. You have a bunch of things being thrown at you, so can be a trick.
And I'm about to do that myself.
And you don't need to use Were Whiskey, actually. You can do that without Were Whiskey. So I guess doesn't have to be that precise, but if you want to use pike thrusts to kill that, you do need Were Whiskey. I just happened to use the grenade there.
It ain't too late to unlock the potential.
Yeah, it might be worth it might be worth. I feel like there's been enough testing on that to know that might be the easiest way to go about it. But I know some people just grenade there.
Yeah, I think I started doing Were Whiskey there because I was sick of grenade failing. So I haven't done it yet, I don't think. But often, if you try and do shift is target, and then Q for me is the grenade. If I do shift Q too quickly, I won't get the targeted grenade, and then I'll just throw the grenade, lob it way in the air, it'll miss my target, stuff like that. So pike thrusts don't have that problem, they auto target. A little bit of a fall there, should be okay.
So we're in Culprit Cauldron right now, aren't we?
Yes.
At least I am.
I am.
Right.
I am in Culprit Cauldron. I'm not that far ahead. If ever at this point.
This is another one where the ground is really tricky, and it also involves one really important gate clip.
Yeah, the gate clip at the beginning is just a pain. There's just like an invisible hole that you can fall into, and it's so annoying.
It's almost impossible to figure out where that hole is. I've fallen into that hole so many times, I still don't know where exactly it is.
Yeah, there's just a bunch of things in Bastion that are like, well, I have no idea how this works, but I hope it doesn't screw me over.
Yeah.
But that is speedrunning for you. Alright, Mount Sand is a really short level that we're gonna go to now. What were we gonna say?
And this... I was just mentioning the grenade throw at the end in order to clear the brush out of the way so that we don't have to, actively attack it. But also, the ground on Mount Zan, not only does it form up really weirdly, but you also don't get to see it form up, in order to, get a sense of it, because it's all covered in brush at the beginning. So, this is one of those things that you just have to really carefully, in order to not fall.
Yeah. Mount Zand is, just the beginning of Mount Zand can be really, really obnoxious, because, like you said, you can't see what's going on, and it's weird, it's just a pain. But the rest of the level is really short, really easy, so we're out of there. And we're getting pretty near the end of the game, and we're very close together, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm happy with how close we are.
It's gonna be an interesting finale here.
Yeah, I'm just about to get to the Skyway right now.
So there's plenty of time for me to make a mistake for him to catch up here.
Oh hey, I've also been timing along just with my own timer. that Mount Zand for me was a goal.
Best Mount Zand ever. Nice, very nice.
So that's something.
Yeah, just for reference, we're about a minute behind what you'd normally have in pace, which for like a top level run of this category, which is respectable for sure.
And for a marathon run, this is like a great place to be.
Yeah, this is good. We are in Bastion Quarry. This is a very fast-paced level. You roll around a lot of obstacles. You have to have a feel for the ground. It's just a lot of practice. And then we're going to do a trick at the end, which is usually just a lot of people love this trick. It is
the
called
hypest trick in the run.
And I failed it, but I have musket, so I'm able to push him off. What you're doing here, you position him very precisely. You stand in the one place so that Lunky, when he goes to jump on you, he actually jumps off and just dies, which is really funny. I messed it up, but I'm able to use the musket, which is nice thing about this category. That the musket has knockback, so I can just, if I miss the position just a tiny little bit, I can still push him off.
And I succeeded, and I just threw him off.
Nice.
If that's the way it is, he said.
My movement was not that great leading up to it, but it worked out pretty well. And then we also like go to the gate as soon as possible after that to trigger like interaction in the following cutscene like as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Say
All
what
right.
you will about
Oh,
Saul,
right.
but he's a man.
We're gonna do another little menuing thing here. I honestly zero idea how this works. We're gonna die here, and then we're going to go to the menu and reload, and that will magically skip this part of the game. I do not know how it works. I'm sure someone does, but I don't have that locked down. Basically, we restart the area, and then, oh wow, the Ura invasion is totally over. Sweet.
To my understanding, it's because basically like if you were to just like restart the game normally, it would if you were to just like quit to the main menu from the death and like start over, it would say, oh, you haven't finished the Ura invasion yet and started. Actually, it would just take you back to before Bastion Quarry, so you would have to do Bastion all over again. But because you like restart and then quit, the game saves with you already at the Bastion.
Oh yeah. I think
So
you are
then
right, yeah.
when you like restart, it'll say, "Oh, you're at the Bastion," which means the Ura invasion's already been done. So it just skips it.
That is probably how it works. Alright. Okay, Resendra Gate. Sweet. Alright, Resendra Gate. This is health management once again. We need Were Whiskey by the end, but there's a lot of enemies in our way, so you just have to basically you have a flow chart in your head of when do I need to take a hit? If I took this hit and this guy hit me, can I take this hit? You know, stuff like that. So like that guy, I knew I needed to dodge because I'm already at Were Whiskey level. I didn't want to take that damage. That allows us, Were Whiskey applies to non-enemies too, so it allows my pike to one-shot all of those barricades there, and then we're gonna one-shot some things with a grenade at the very end to allow us to leave Resendra.
And I'm actually in some dire straits because I got hit one more time than I wanted to. So I actually have Were Whiskey right now, which I have it when I want it to be, but I had by blocking a hit from an Ura along the way instead of just taking it as I would have wanted to otherwise. And I fell again, which means that if I take one more hit, I die. Which isn't the end of the world, but it also means that this fight at the end is going to be a lot slower for me if I die here.
Yeah, dying loses, I don't know, I think it's like less than 5 seconds if you don't need to take an intentional death or anything like that. So it's not that bad. Unless, also you'll lose Were Whiskey, obviously. But it's really hard for this level to avoid dying if you take an extra hit because the things are falling from the sky, you can't really dodge them, and you know, you're just gonna get hit.
And the end of Resendra Gate kind of fell apart for me, so I think you've pulled ahead pretty well.
So I'm in Zoltan's Hollow. This is a level all about running through gates and ignoring everything. So there's these giant walls. I'm not supposed to just run through these walls. This is not intended.
These walls are miles apart. You can just like waltz right through them and skip basically this whole level.
There's some pretty wide gaps. It can be difficult when you first start, but usually, you know, that's not that difficult to get through them because they're gigantic gaps.
There can be a couple that like get you stuck, like the one I'm at right now. It's just a matter of, you know, arcing around them in just the right way. But there's only a couple that are like that.
Did you hit your goal, by the way? Did you get the Urzendra tech skip?
No, I didn't.
So
technically speaking, you can get a tech skip everywhere except before Cinderbrick Fort. But the one you get before Urzendra Gate after upgrading the arsenal, the text there is short enough that it's so tight that you have to have perfect movement in order to actually get that tech skip. I only got it once, and then I immediately killed the run by going to the wrong level.
Yeah, I think it's in my run, so if you're really dying to see nothing really happen, and me just go straight on the map and choose the level and save 2 seconds, it is there. So I'm in the final level. It's a very, very long level, though. Oh yeah, so
Yep, we are both now in Tassel Terminals.
So yeah, we're in Tassel, but this has 4 parts. So I'm out of the first screen, I'm on the second screen now, and we're going to pick up everyone's favorite. That's highly sarcastic. We got hopscotch. This makes our rolls turn into jumps that are very slow and cumbersome and do not feel natural at all. Luckily,
the end of this level is just so, like, the end of the game is just so sad compared to, like, the rest of it, because you're moving so, like, fast and, you know, it's all fluid and just, like, so much fun up until this point, and then you get hopscotch, and then you get the battering ram, and everything just slows to a crawl right at the end. But, like, the rest of the run is still worth it, absolutely, but the end here is just really something.
Yeah, the ending can be very frustrating because it's slow, but it's not easy at all.
So I'm about to get hopscotch myself, and we're in there.
I had some hiccups there, but I didn't throw it away. Yeah, I had some difficulty in that section there. You have to get Whiskey for those fights, and I had an extra guy follow me. That's what you were talking about earlier, I think. I had some, that almost never happens to me. I had an extra enemy on my tail, so I had to take a couple extra hits before I was able to get Whiskey. But back on track. Oh. Yeah, so this is just the end crawl. We're gonna pick up so we got the worst like potion in the game, hopscotch. Now we're gonna get by far the worst weapon for speedrunning, and we have to use it. It's the battering ram. It makes us walk really slow. It makes us walk really slow, but it makes our attacks really, really strong. So it is kind of fun when you're first playing the game. It's definitely really good for the story. I mean, it's a great aspect for the game, not so great for speedrunning.
You one-shot basically everything, yeah, especially on Whiskey.
Yeah.
And like, it has such a powerful feel to it, but you just move so slow.
And there we go. So yeah, now our secret skill is a giant AoE meteor storm. I don't know what to call it exactly. It just deletes everything on the screen. I actually think the distribution of those meteors, or whatever you want to call them, is random. Sometimes it won't kill everything on the screen, even though that's kind of what you'd expect. So we'll see here. This is what I call, we'll see if we get him, the super Ura at the very beginning, who just randomly survives your storm. I'm not quite there yet, but
like,
yeah, what were you saying?
Oh, I'm just like waiting with bated breath if there's a super era.
No, they all died. It's a massacre.
Nice.
We've killed them all. This game's actually pretty dark. I gotta be honest. I mean, it doesn't look dark. They make it all colorful, but if you think about what you're actually doing, it's like a time travel story, and you're killing all these people.
you're literally destroying.
They're not even really
people.
that. They're not even like the bad guys. You're just killing them all because they're in your way.
Like
pretty much.
this level is really like this game like for all its like cartoonishness is so grim.
Yeah.
Like you look through Hanging Gardens and like we like ran through Hanging Gardens and all, but like if you actually like go through it and listen to all the dialogue and everything like that, you're passing by like the ashen corpses of all your friends, and like this game like doesn't pull many punches in terms of that kind of thing.
Oh my gosh. Okay, there we go. Yeah. It's definitely, and it's about to get darker because we have the option here. This is our first. There's 4 parts to the ending, so there's I guess you could say there's 4 endings. We only say there's really 2 endings, but we get to make a choice whether or not to leave Zolf behind, and it's way faster to leave him behind. So there we go. We're moving on, and leaving his dead body behind.
And in doing so, we basically commit to slaughtering the rest of the era.
Yeah, as well. If you take the other option, you slowly walk through this area, unable to kill anything in your way, so you have to walk around everyone. You are immortal here, so we can't die. It's pretty safe at the end of the run, but we do have to kill Zolf in the process there to save some time.
I'm about to get to Zolf myself. And screw Zolf.
So this area looks really easy. It's not. You have to. The guys with the machete will knock you away if they hit you. So you have to, and you don't want to spend time using attacks because attacks lock you in place, and there's a pretty long animation time. So it's all about budgeting when you use which type of attack, what's the best for each situation, and it's different every time. Sometimes you can just get screwed over, but sometimes you figure it out. Do I have a secret skill? Yes, I do. I usually save one for that.
Yeah. I'm not even sure that I don't think many of us are sure whether like the route that we take through this last part is actually the most optimal one, just because it's
willing
so
to test it.
horrid to try and like practice even.
Yeah.
So like the way that we do it is we budget our black tonics such that we have one more like Armageddon AoE thing for this last group of Ura that are gonna pop up, and I got all but 2 of them. So now all the melee ones are out of the way, and I'm going to leave Tesla terminals.
Yeah. So we are pretty much done. I am about to put in the last shard into the monument, and I'm going to go to the ending. So the world record for this game, I have it. I talk to an NPC at the end and lose 10 seconds. So we're going to see if we don't do that here. It's kind of the meme. But it's still the world record because the rest of the one was really good. But all you have to do is open their dialogue and close the box. Don't click anything.
Like, I kind of want to leave the world record there because it means that you just have to deal with that.
Yeah,
anyway, time's about to come up, so I'll be quiet.
Oh yeah, that's true. We should choose different endings. And time.
What'd you choose?
I chose Restoration.
Alright, I'll go Evacuation.
It's finished.
47:03 on the dot. 0.00.
Thank you. That's very close to what my timer is, so yeah, that's good. I was aiming for sub 47, so that's pretty much what I was going for a marathon run. So yeah, it's really good.
That was a really good run.
And I'm in the heart of the Bastion right now, so let's do this. Let's see Evacuation.
Do we have separate timers? I'm not sure if we do. Oh no, we just have one.
I didn't know. I didn't say that.
Yeah.
I'm done. Time.
Oh, that was such a close rate. For it being 47 minutes long, that was really close, I think. We switched in the middle too. It was really good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That was
a really good race. Like, I'm supposed to be doing things, but I was kind of too busy watching.
Yeah. So that was awesome.
That was really well done.
Thank you. And thank you so much for having us for this marathon. This was really awesome.
Yeah, I really hope they get to go. Hope this works out. This is just the second game. We already got a good number of people in. So
yeah, this
got
is
some money.
Really awesome. Let's see if we can keep this going.
Yeah.
Yep, coming up next we have Tausa Rays with Jazz Punk. Thank you two for the race again, that was really fucking good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go to the intermission screen now.